Hello everyone, my name is Sophia. I'm a second year criminology student at the University of Bristol, and I also work within the marketing and social media team here at Accommodation for Students, and today we're going to be talking all about moving out after the end of your tenancy. So when you're starting to move out of your student accommodation and thinking about wanting to get your deposit back, this is the time to be watching our handy student guide. We have created it to help you through what can be an incredibly stressful process for some, and hopefully this can make it a little less stressful. So firstly, start when you move in. The first tip is start thinking about moving out as soon as you move in. So before you sign the tenancy agreement, make sure to have a read through and understand what is required of you when you need to leave. So a good example of this is that some landlords will want the property professionally cleaned or all picture hooks removed off the wall. And if you don't take the correct action, you may end up being charged. Equally important is an inventory. The landlord, agent or property manager should provide you with one when you move in. This will clearly show the condition of the property when you started to live there. This is essential to avoid disputes over any damages when you leave. If you are not providing inventory, our number one tip is to make one yourself and send it straight to the landlord, and include pictures if you can. By including pictures, this provides maximum clarity. Number 2, moving out. If you live in a shared property, it's probably a good idea to plan moving out a few weeks in advance. After all, there are quite a few people to coordinate. The starting point here is to check those key documents such as your tenancy agreement and your inventory. This will give you a clear idea of what your responsibilities are and what the place was like when you moved in at the start of your tenancy. Doing this will help you identify any problems and issues as early as possible. This then gives you the chance to fix these problems either yourself or by contacting the landlord. Whilst fixing these problems yourself is likely to be much cheaper, providing the landlord with early notice of these issues gives you the option to kind of work out potential solutions rather than leaving it until you've left. One idea is to invite the landlord round to the property and they can identify anything that they may see as an issue themselves. Number 3, damage. The main thing that's going to eat into your tenancy deposit is damage that either you or your housemates have caused. Now some damage is just part of wear and tear of the property. So for instance, the carpet probably in your entrance hall may have worn down a bit because people are walking on it constantly. So wear and tear your landlord can't charge you for, but damage you can be charged for. Now this is whether it's done on purpose or by accident. Sometimes damage can be caused by neglect or negligence. Accidental damage might be if you've spilled coffee over something. In this case, the landlord would be able to charge you for the repair needed. So again, this is really important where the inventory comes in, because you can prove what the property was like before you moved in and you can see how it's changed over the course of you living there. Number 4, before you leave, make sure you do everything in that tenancy agreement that you signed all those months ago, so you can address and fix smaller issues, and anything of a more substantial size you can bring to the attention of the landlord. With bigger issues then resolved, you should make sure to do a final meter reading. Take a photo of this and send it on to your bill provider. Finally, remove anything that should not be there. So this includes making sure the fridge, freezer, cupboards are all empty and that the property is cleaned to a good standard. Also, make sure that when you are cleaning, you're doing this fairly and responsibly. Don't leave rubbish piling up which could affect your neighbours. And a tip here is to make sure you take a photo of absolutely everything on the day that you leave the property. Number 5, dealing with disputes. If you have followed our guidance here, you should not have any problems and your landlord should return your tenancy deposit to you. However, if there are a few things you need to be aware of. If the landlord wants to charge you for anything, they need to put this in writing. If you don't agree with the damage or the cost that the landlord wants to charge you, you need to deal with this directly. In this case, the ideal outcome is that you can come to some form of agreement over the dispute and move on. However, if you can't, you may need to use a dispute resolution service. When the landlord takes the deposit from you, legally they're meant to put it in a tenancy deposit scheme. They are also required to tell you which scheme they have used. So each of these different schemes has a dispute resolution service which you can use. And if you're dealing with a letting agent, they're legally allowed to provide you with the landlord's contact details so you can deal with the dispute directly with them. And number 6, your new home. The next time you need to find new accommodation, start your search on accommodationforstudents.com. Don't forget to check any tenancy agreements before you sign and ask for that inventory when you move in. I hope this guide has been useful. Don't forget to watch it before every single time you move into a new property, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to check out our website accommodationforstudents.com and subscribe to this channel for more useful advice videos like this.